By turning on Throw the Gauntlet on your Atlas, you can convert a Maven fight into the Uber Maven fight, where there's a higher eye level of the Maven herself. She does significantly more damage, she has more mechanics, and a lot of changes happen. That's what I'm going to go through with this unedited playthrough. I developed my custom build to be able to do Uber Maven, which is not easy, one of the hardest fights in the game. This is a brand build. It works very well for Maven because it can keep doing damage while you're dodging the mechanics in the field. So this Stormbound build works very well. First thing you'll notice is Cascade of Pain has significantly more projectiles. In fact, all projectiles have 3 times the projectiles. The claw attack needs to be dodged because not only does it do more damage, it also prevents you from regenerating, recharging, or at all recovering energy shield or life for a certain debuff period. So the idea is to get your DPS up very high. Now when you get to the brain phase, it's very similar. You still have lots of tier 16 bosses, however, they take 50% less damage, so you have to avoid the beams, of course, and target the brain, while also attacking the tier 16 bosses that spawn randomly. Now you'll notice during the memory game, one big difference is that Cosmic Ground, which slows you and does damage over time, does not go away, it does not reset on each round. And there's bosses to fight during the memory game. With Stand Still, you have to not do what I just did. You're supposed to dodge the claw attack because the damage is so high that you probably cannot tank it unless you're going to high defense build. With Uber bosses, you can either go max defense or max like DPS. Cascade of Pain, normally one of the weakest attacks Maven does. Normally you can almost just tank it on a normal Maven run. But on Uber Maven, you want to definitely dodge all those projectiles. DPS is key on the Uber bosses. Different builds can do better on different Uber bosses. As I say, Cosmic Ground stays permanently, so I placed it purposefully out of the way here. If you don't control the Cosmic Ground, you can end up in bad places. Now right here I just had bad luck. I got targeted by 2 bosses simultaneously, and I just got like double shotted without evading, and didn't drink my flasks in time and just died a fair death. Which is why on hardcore I could not imagine doing Uber Maven. I wouldn't even think about it, but people do it. Alright, here Cascade of Pain, you just gotta dodge these. That's key. That's why brand builds are nice, that's why totems are nice. But so many different builds can do this. Now again, the Cosmic Ground stays. Memory game has bosses. I just clear the bosses really quick because I have a setup where I'm doing Righteous Fire, Assassin's Mark, Double Curse besides the Mark, Lightning Conduit, and Stormbrand. I'll post the build soon, very soon. See, multiple suns, gotta dodge the Brain Beam, gotta dodge the Maven. With good dodging, you can get this done. Okay, so with the Brain Phase, of course, you go to the edge, as with normal Maven. Bosses are random, but the quicker you can kill them, the better. DPS is key on all Uber bosses. Now on the final phase, there's no extra bosses at least. However, I have pretty good layout on the Cosmic Ground. And it could be way worse. It could be in the middle, it could be blocking your path. You have to avoid these beams which prevent, of course, regeneration, recharge, or recovery, or leech, while also doing the same with the Cosmic Ground while also clearing this memory game. See, I touched a beam, so I have to just be careful not to get any hits. And I failed the memory game, which can happen because of the distractions. That's the most difficult part. You have to avoid the ground, the beams, and memorize the pattern. Since I'm normally drinking when I play, it makes it challenging. You can tank the claws on normal Maven. It's better to avoid them on Uber Maven. Cascade of Pain, you just... that is the most scary shit. That is so much stronger than the normal Cascade of Pain. But playing well and having a good build makes a big difference. See, not playing well, getting hit by that will take you out. This build, of course, I set it up for Uber Cortex and Uber Maven. It cannot do Uber Searing Headshark, Uber Eater, or Worlds well, because it just can't tank enough. However, it's tanky enough to do tier 16s, to do just delirious maps. It's good enough to do most map content. So it's not super glass cannon. It's because some builds just are designed to melt bosses. So it's not super glass cannon, but it has enough DPS to do a lot of challenges like this, as you can see. So I'll be posting a build guide very soon, but generally this is the Uber Maven fight. Extra projectiles, Cosmic Ground stays. You can get better drops, you have a better chance of getting, I believe you get a better chance of getting like Awakened Enlighten, for example. And it guarantees an elevated sextant.